Hey guys, I saw this. I thought it was pretty neat. I thought it'd give me a chance to play with some 3D animation. If you place two unit cubes next to each other, that means this edge length is equal to 1, then these various distances will equal these cool numbers. You have square root of 2, square root of 3, square root of 4, square root of 5, and square root of 6. Let's go through calculating all these. Here it is in 3 dimensions with all the distances, and we can move it around. Pretty cool to look at. Now let's clear them all out and let's find each of them. For the first one, we're going to focus on this right triangle here. These two sides are edges of the unit cube, so they're both going to be equal to 1. And let's call the hypotenuse A. So by the Pythagorean theorem, we have 1 squared plus 1 squared equals a squared. That'll end up giving us 2 equals a squared. And then after we square root both sides, we have a is equal to square root of 2. And that's the first one here. And then we can move things around just like this. And let's focus on this right triangle here. This side is still equal to square root of 2. This side will be equal to 1. And we'll call the hypotenuse B. So then we'll have 1 squared plus square root of 2 squared equals b squared. That ends up being 1 plus 2 equals b squared. And that'll be 3 is equal to b squared. And then after we square root both sides, we get b is equal to square root of 3. And that takes care of this one. So for this one here, we can call it c. It's just made up of one edge plus another edge. And each of the edges are equal to 1. 1 plus 1 is equal to c, which would give us 2 is equal to c. And then 2 is the same thing as square root of 4. So we end up with square root of 4 is equal to c. So we can make this one square root of 4. And now from here, we can shift things around like this, and we can focus on this right triangle. This edge is equal to 1, and let's call the hypotenuse d. We end up with 1 squared plus square root of 4 squared equals d squared. That'll end up being 1 plus 4 equals d squared, or in other words, 5 equals d squared. And after we square root both sides, we get d is equal to square root of 5. And then we can move things around again, and let's focus on this right triangle. This edge will equal 1, and we'll call the hypotenuse k. Okay, so the Pythagorean theorem will give us 1 squared plus square root of 5 squared equals k squared. That'll end up being 1 plus 5 equals k squared, or 6 equals k squared. After we square root both sides, we get k is equal to square root of 6. And now we're done. We got to play around with some 3D animation, and we verified all these values. How exciting.